Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our PPRTA meeting. And on this beautiful day, 9th day of August, 2023. With that, I'll call us to order. And I see that we have established a quorum. So with that said, I'll move to item number 2, approval of today's agenda. I will ask for a motion to approve the agenda.
I move approval of the agenda, John Graham.
Thank you, John Graham. I look for a second.
Second, Mayor Dixon.
Thank you, Mayor. And with that, call for a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All
Aye.
opposed? I hear none. And with that, I meant to do this before we voted, but we have a new member with us today from Rama, Trustee Paul Belt. And I understand Paul is on the line. Paul, can you hear me?
Sir.
Paul, we'd like
Yes,
for you
I
to
can
take
hear you.
about 15 minutes and introduce yourself and tell us all about you. No, but you would, if you give us, let us know about yourself.
I retired about 10 years ago, and I moved from Kansas to Colorado in 2018. Bought a house out here to the quaint little town of Rama, and I got some time on my hands, so I figure I better burn some of it.
Well, good. Well, welcome. We're glad you are part of us now. And if you have any, I know you're online, so if you have any questions at all, feel free to jump in there.
Sure.
And play it by ear today, or ask any questions you want, and we're happy to help you out. And I know
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I know Rick will help you with other logistical details there too. All right, so we've approved the agenda for today. Moving along to item number 3, public comment period for items not on the agenda. So with that, I will and I'll look for some help over there to see if anybody. First, I'll look online. Do we have any public comments online?
We did not receive any advance requests for public comment. I'll ask anyone who's online who'd like to make public comment to use the raise hand function. And while we're doing that, we can wait for anyone in person.
I'm looking in the audience in person. I see no, welcome. I think is Sharon, is the mayor of Fountain. Ah, there she is in the back. Welcome, Mayor, and others. Anyone want to make public comment in the audience inside? I hear and see none. How about online again? Nobody?
And similar online, we hear and see
Okay.
none. So,
All right. With that, I'll close the public comment time and move to item number 4, approval of the minutes from our July 2023 meeting. I'll ask if I can get a motion to approve the minutes from the July 2022 meeting.
Director Williams, so moved.
I have a motion from Director Williams. Looking for a
Mayor
second.
Dixon, second.
Mayor Dixon, second. Any discussion? Any changes to the minutes? I hear and see none. So that's, and Paul, the way we do it, after a motion and a second, I'll ask for a discussion on whatever item we're doing. And feel free to, again, to jump in there. If you got a comment today on something that we're voting on and you want to get your 2 cents worth in there. And then I'll ask for a voice vote. And the way I do it, I'll say it right now. So for this motion, all in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, Paul. Any opposed? I hear and see none. With that, the minutes have been approved. And we move then to item 5, the CAC, the Citizens Advisory Committee report. I welcome Jim to the podium.
Good afternoon, Jim Godfrey, Chair of the CAC. So I'll briefly go over our meeting last week. The city had 5 contracts, went through a discussion and explanation of all those, and there were no comments or controversy, and we recommend approving the city's request as presented. El Paso County contracts had 2. Same thing. We discussed them, looked at them, had no questions or issues with them, and recommend approval of the county's request. Then we also approved draft board policy 33. That was the one on the whatever that group is, Copper Ridge. So we recommend approval on that. We the final versions and edits and stuff, we're all good with on that as well. And then I just would like to just let you know, I did accompany Rick down to the Fountain town meeting on, they presented information. Say again? August 31st. So I did accompany Rick down there to that town meeting and listen to some of the comments of the citizens that were there. And then yesterday, I had the privilege of being in Manitou. And the board, the chair and the vice chair were tied up. And so they got a third strike, me. So just to comment and welcome, be there for the ribbon cutting on that. So I appreciated that opportunity. So thank you on that. And then second of all, the last of all, I give you the gauntlet is down. Our meeting was 52 minutes.
Wow.
Okay, we started right at 30, so.
So yes. So
Are you intentionally dragging it out?
I'm done. Any comment? Yes, sir.
I think it's July 31st, not August, right? You said August 31st, and I go ahead.
I was going on what he said.
Okay.
All blends together. After.
Any other questions? Yes, Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'd just like to thank Jim for coming over to Manitou and helping us celebrate the opening of our new electric vehicle charging stations at the Hiawatha Gardens transportation hub. That's a lot of that's been funded by PPRTA, and certainly the installation of the electric chargers could not have been done without PPRTA. So it was great to have this organization's support, and also special thanks to Jim for being there to represent the group. Thank you.
My pleasure. And so some of the board members may not know that we helped contribute money to buy Hiawatha Gardens for Manitou as part of the RTA. So there was a little bit more of an investment than the chargers. So in the RTA.
Okay, any other, and I'll reach out to Paul online. Any questions about the CAC report there, Paul?
No, sir.
All right, thank you. Anyone else?
I move to accept the CAC report.
Second. Thank you, Director Williams. Thank you, Mayor. So we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? None. So all in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? I hear and see none. With that, the CAC advisory report has been accepted.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. Next up is our monthly financial report, and I think Lisa is actually online. Is that right, Rick? Lisa, over to you.
All right, Lisa Corey, I'm the finance manager for PPRTA. I do not have a full set of financials yet, but I did want to share because I got the raw data today, so I can share a little bit of what we're looking at for the month. So we did meet budget. We're about 250,000 above budget. So it does kind of look like we're coming back out of the slump we were in, but it could also be related to tourism, back to school stuff. So not a real clear picture yet. And then when we look at June of last year to June of this year, we're still down about 300,000 compared to last year. That's
Okay,
about all I got right now.
Any questions for Lisa or comments? Looking around right now, Lisa, I see and hear none. Yes, Rick. Yeah, as normal, we'll get the report as soon as she's able to consolidate the numbers that she's just now getting and send it out to us. So feel free to shoot back questions on it and that kind of thing once we get it. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you, Lisa.
Yep.
Okay, moving along to item 7, the 2023 capital maintenance and public transportation contracts. And that first to the city of Colorado Springs.
Thank you,
Yes.
Mr. Chair. Gail Sturdivant, Interim Public Works Director for the City of Colorado Springs. The city is pleased to present 5 contracts for the board's consideration today. The first 4 contracts are all going to be PPRTA A-list projects. The first one is for the Black Forest Road widening, and there is a map included in your packet. This change order is to incorporate design changes and property acquisition needed to accommodate an city annexation adjacent to Black Forest Road. This annexation triggers some curb and gutter improvements. It triggers some turn lane improvements. One of the things we like to do, it makes sense to include it in our project. This cost is being incurred by PPRTA today, but it is intended to be reimbursed because as part of this annexation, there'll be a cost recovery provision. So the development will have to pay for these costs ultimately in the end, but it makes sense since we're doing the work now and we haven't gotten there that we incorporate it today. So that change order is the amount of $69,823 to AECOM. The second contract is for the El Paso Bridge over the Fountain Creek tributary. Again, this is an A-list project. This is for construction of that bridge replacement. The city went through an RFP process. We received 5 bids. I received the lowest bid was from RJ Gleason Construction for $796,729.50. As you can see, the bids were actually listed in there. The top 3 bids were relatively close to our engineer's estimate, but like we had good competition on that. The third contract is for the West Fillmore bridge replacement or culvert replacement over the unnamed channel there near Coronado High School. There's also a map included in your packet. In addition to a map, there's also the outline of the easement that's required. This easement would be acquired from Welltower Colorado Properties. It has been appraised for $121,730. The owner has indicated acceptance of that dollar amount, and the city has gone through city council since this is over $100,000 in accordance with our real estate manual. We got their approval on July 25th. And fourth contract is for the Las Vegas Royer UPRR relocation project. This is for a design services change contract for Felsberg, Colt, and Oliveg in the amount of $400,065. This is for design changes that have come about from the subsurface utility investigation and resolving some railroad comments. This also includes future services for engineering services during construction. And I included a map with that particular package as well. And then our last contract is a maintenance contract to purchase paint material. I brought a paint material contract a few months ago. As it turned out, the vendor chose not to honor the pricing, so we did not execute the contract after we came to the PPRTA board. We went and solicited other pricing, and we've got what we feel is the best pricing from Diamond Vogel. So city crews can do in-house striping or maintenance, roadway maintenance work. And that's in the amount of $121,320. Any questions on any of those 5 contracts? Yes, sir.
Yes, all those on the A list.
The first 4 projects are all on the A list, yes. And the last one was a maintenance contract.
Right. Good.
Excellent question. So is this picture is that with the county or is that, no, that was when we were at the Mark
Yes.
Shuffle.
So I didn't get that, so I don't know exactly where that was in your packet, but that is from the Mark Shuffle Road groundbreaking. So you've got Mayor Mobilotti, former Mayor Sellers, Councilman O'Malley, myself, Travis Easton.
You cut off Travis, or we cut off Travis on the picture.
See half of Travis's notes.
All right, with that said, any further questions or discussions with Gail on the city contracts? All right, on 7A, look for a motion.
I'll move to approve the Colorado Springs contracts.
Thank you.
Commissioner Williams, I will second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Here and see none. So all in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? I hear and see none. With that, that motion is approved. And then we move over to Josh with the El Paso County.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Jeff Manchester, Deputy County Engineer, filling in for Josh Palmer today.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry, Jeff. I
okay.
apologize. I didn't look up.
No problem. Today for your approval, we have two contract items, both related to the Highway 105 project. The first item is a contract amendment to our design consultant HDR for $1,589,616. This amendment will add design services for the second phase of the project, or phase B, which is from Lakewood Moore to Martingale. It'll also provide additional construction support dollars for the project that is in construction right now, which is phase A. We're also updating a traffic study along the corridor, and that pretty much sums up the item. The second item before you today is related to right-of-way acquisition or property needed for the first phase of the project, or phase A. That is for $105,300. We have included a map in your packet showing where that right-of-way acquisition is, which is right in front of an existing church. I think that's all I have to say on that one. And with that, I can answer any questions you may have on any of our items.
All right, looking for any questions? Concerns? I don't see anyone online with any concerns, so I'll look for a motion to approve the El Paso County.
I move to approve the El Paso County contracts as presented. John Graham.
Thank you.
Yolanda, second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? With that, call for the vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any opposed? I hear and see none. With that, that motion is approved. Moving along to item number 8, member government and other reports. City of Colorado Springs Transit Services monthly update, and here she comes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. My name is Lan Rao. Good afternoon, members of PPRTA board. In your packet is Transit's monthly report. I would like to highlight our ridership for the month of June. In June, we were able to achieve a record high ridership on the fixed route service, and we were able to achieve actually 10% higher than pre-COVID level. So this is the first time we're seeing a strong ridership, stronger than pre-COVID time. Ridership continued to be very strong in July. I do not have the final numbers, but we're working on that. Seems like the July numbers are even higher than what we saw in June. Zero fare for better air definitely helped. And we're monitoring all the information that we gathered last year, and we would like to report back to you after August, basically in our September report, with more information about zero fare. A lot of the questions were asked last year in terms of total capacity. Are we leaving passengers behind? Are we seeing more passenger assaults? Are people giving us feedback on do they like it? Is it working? So those will be the information that we'll bring back to you after we complete the August ridership. Also in your report, we keep track of the cumulative information from January to, as of this report, it's June information. So compared to last year, same time last year, we were able to provide 58% pre-COVID ridership level. And as of June this year, we were at 80% cumulatively year to date. So we like the trend, and we're hoping riders will stay after the zero fare and ends. In your transit's highlights section, we have concluded our fall service change public comment period, and we are making one tweak to how we propose on Route 37. And we will be releasing this final notification to the public in the next couple of weeks, and we will include the final information in your next month's report as well.
Chair,
Absolutely, Councilmember Avila.
will you tell us where Route 37?
Route 37, we have experienced pretty low on-time performance on Route.
No, but where does it go? From where
Um,
does it start to where does it go?
integration loop from downtown, from Hancock and Academy going to the airport. Stopping around that integration loop, we've noticed very low on-time performance, and we are actually proposing to eliminate the inbound loop to integration loop in the morning and keep the loop both directions in the afternoon. So we'll try it out. We reached out to the airport and Amazon and got some feedback. So far, we agreed to, let's see if this is going to help with on-time performance. And if we need to tweak it, we'll tweak it again next time. Yeah. We have completed our bus storage building with 72,000 square footage total, including about 64,000 bus storage for 72 up to 72 bus parking spaces. Each bus will be able to eventually charge with electric charger, and the 8,000 square footage is for the contractor drivers. So they will have their individual lockers and their own break room, better training facility, and they have some very nice view from their side of the building and parking. So we're hoping this building will not only improve our driver working condition as well. This building will also be able to keep our assets better. It's similar to if you keep your car in the garage versus out in the element in winter. It would be easier to start. We don't have to keep running the car for the bus for a few hours before we run the service. So the building has completed at the end of July, and we're hoping to move our contractors in the next couple of weeks. So once they're in there, they will be operating from our new building. This project has been funded with Federal Transit Administration, a few different grants, with PPRTA local match providing that cash match, as well as the city's land value for the garage. So it's a combination of different funding sources.
Tell us again where the location of the building.
It's on Transit Drive. If you take a right from Hancock Expressway to Transit Drive, you'll see our admin building, the current fixed route operator building, our bus maintenance facility. So if you keep driving towards the end of the road, that's where the garage will be.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. We will also be putting out a promotion for our mobile ticketing. As you remember, this is the project that we started implementing a few years ago, and we implemented this project in different phases. The initial one was a mobile app, and now we're wrapping up all the phases. With this entire suite of options, we are able to offer people not only the mobile app, we also are offering different options. So people who don't have a bank account, a credit card, or a phone could also use the app, could you use this technology. So we'll have smart cards, and those applications will cap how much you pay for a day or for a month at the maximum value that you'll be charged. You will not go over, you will not pay more than a day pass on the day. So with that, I do have one question. We were requested by the CAC last week to share our writer survey results once we complete the writer survey. CAC had a few very good questions about the writer survey that's currently still in the process. So I don't know if the board would request the same presentation or we'll just present it to the CAC. It's basically a writer survey. It's a survey surveying our current writers about demographic information, their destinations, and how they use the buses. So that kind of information.
Yes, Council.
How long I feel like I
every 3 years.
I answered it, though. When did it go out?
It went out earlier this year,
Oh, this year, yeah.
This
And there
year,
wasn't
yeah.
very many questions, right?
not too many.
Yeah, I think I answered it, but it's a blur now.
Yeah, they're wrapping up the final report,
Okay.
the consultant.
So I'll reach out to the directors here and see, do you want a presentation or you just want the information? Rick, she can give it to Rick and then Rick pass it out to us of the actual survey briefing. Why don't we have it sent to us and then see if we want to be briefed? Yes.
Mr.
I
Chair,
want a
if I
presentation.
could ask, Len, how long do you think it would take to give a presentation? How many minutes?
We are hoping to have the final report by beginning of early September, and then we put it in the packet, probably the October packet.
But if you were to give a presentation, do you think it would take 15 minutes or
Probably.
2 hours, 15 minutes?
Yeah,
I'd be happy.
let's add it to the agenda and
And if you could break out Councilwoman Avila's answers separately and report those to us.
Don't think we can have that information.
so I,
What happens when you have.
yeah. So are you, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Are you finished with?
That's all I have.
I have a couple questions. One, do you have any update at all on the public restrooms at the bus station in downtown, on how that's going and what the plan is for that?
Yes, I do. We hired a decontamination contractor. They started their work last week. Decontamination is going to take around 3 weeks. And once they complete their work, they probably need 1 week to wrap up their report, send it back to us and review. If the report shows we are meeting all the requirements within the regulation, then we can move forward with figuring out the exact date. However, if the report comes back and say there are certain things that are still above the numbers that we're required to stay within, we're going to have to do another round of decontamination. So at this point, we're hoping we'll have better information by the end of September. What we're also trying to do, hopefully to prevent similar things from happening in the future, is to install some air monitors. Those are the monitors that the library district has installed. They monitor the change in the air. That might, depending on the exact delivery and installation time frame, we might get those in by the end of October. So that's the time frame we're looking at. If everything goes well, hopefully, and one round of decontamination effort is good, we're looking at probably October.
What are the bus drivers doing in the meantime for using the restrooms?
In the meantime, thanks to City Council, we have City Council restrooms available to bus drivers. The security guard company has access to City Hall restrooms during business hours and after business hours. There are also businesses that allow bus drivers to use their restrooms. The Hyatt Place hotel across from City Hall is one of them.
All right, thank you. Finally, just as a side note, so Gail and I were in London this whole last week, similar times, and I know for myself, riding on a double-decker bus was a blast. So I would ask, when's the city going to get double-decker buses?
That would be one.
That was going to be on her performance review.
All right. Any other comments or questions? All right,
Thank
Lynn.
you.
Thank you. All right, catching up here on, looks like 8B, City of Colorado Springs monthly change order and property acquisition report. Gail.
Mr. Chair, members of the PPRTA board, the change order log and the real estate log are available in your packet for your information, and I'm available to answer any questions.
All right, any questions from anyone? I'm not seeing any, nor am I seeing online. Also, I forgot to mention, I just was notified Commissioner Lojinas Gonzalez is online with us. Director Gonzalez, do you have any questions or comments or anything so far?
No, thanks. Sorry for the delay. I had to stop by last minute on unexpected issue before I got
No.
logged on.
No problem. No problem. All right. Let's see. Any other questions for Gail on the city change orders? I see and hear none. Next up on the El Paso County monthly change order and acquisition report.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. No items to report under change orders for us. And then under property acquisition, again, that acquisition in front of the church, which is also a contract item.
Okay. Any questions or comments? I see and hear none. All right, moving along to item 9, administrative actions and reports. 9A, the status of member government's consent reference to the city of Fountain joining PPRTA. And again, I welcome the mayor of Fountain. So I'll turn that over to Jennifer.
Just a quick report that we have received the consents from all of the member governments. Thank you to the city and county for entertaining my revision after you had passed it the first time, but we do have all 6 now consents. So that was really the last item on our checklist prior to Fountain moving forward.
All right, thank you. All right, next up, 9B, board policy number 33. I'll turn that over to Rick.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This was a referral directive from the board to the CAC to generate a draft board policy so that there was a set of rules and standards for future applications similar to the one from Copper Ridge Metropolitan District, where a non-member government wanted to advance a PPRTA capital project ahead of the schedule of the respective member government or governments. So it's been reviewed by the CAC, but been reviewed by Jennifer Ivey and myself, and I think it's ready for the board's review and or questions and or revisions or approval.
Thank you. And I don't know if Jim wanted to comment at all on that board policy number 33 from the CAC at all. If you don't, that's fine. Okay, thank you. I open it up to the floor. Any concerns, comments? I'm satisfied personally with, yes, Rick.
Just one caveat. As you recall, we've been working on board policy 32, which is the one that would define the term completely funded that's in the ballot. So we've been working on 32 and 33 simultaneously. 33 has overtaken 32 on the timeline.
Yes.
But I didn't want to confuse everybody by renumbering this one 32. So just FYI, we're approving 33 in advance of 32.
Thank you. Yeah, I think that's important. All right. I'm just scrolling through it real quick again. Okay, I call for a motion to approve board policy number 33.
Director Williams, so moved.
Have a motion.
Councilman Donaldson, second.
Have a second. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? I hear none. Okay. Board policy number 33 is approved. With that, then, before we move on to item 10, for Commissioner Gonzalez, just so you know, we introduced our new RAMA trustee, Paul Belt. So Lohinas, Paul Belt's online, and he's our new RAMA trustee. So
Welcome.
just wanted to give you that opportunity. And with that,
Glad to be here.
yeah, we'll move to item number 10. Oh, I'm sorry. We have a.
I just wondered,
Yes,
since we're not anticipating an action item coming out of executive session, if you wanted to move 11 up for folks that might want to make an announcement in advance of convening into executive session.
Great. Yeah, I did that. So that's good because then people don't have to come back in once we come out of executive session. So yes, I'll jump to item 11, PPRTA member announcements. I'll start to my left here to the vice chair. Any
I really don't have a whole lot of announcements outside of just to make this group aware. The redistricting process of the county commissioners has been ongoing and arduous, and we had our second to last meeting yesterday, which means we will have a vote on the completed. We moved 3 finalist maps forward, and one of those 3 will be chosen on August 15th. So if you have some comments that you'd like to give on any of those, that will be the last opportunity to do that, and then that will obviously set the stage for future elections for El Paso County. That's really probably one of the biggest things that we have going on right now.
Yeah. All right, I'll go around to Councilmember Donaldson.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. President. Are you a president over here?
No,
or
just the
You're
chair here.
Okay.
I got too many titles, actually.
Mr. Chair, I guess the only thing I'd have to report is that I believe the chair will be giving his address out for the bus drivers who need to use facilities when they're in his part of the city. So he'll get to that a little later. They will start to.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Mayor.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. I'd already mentioned the one big thing, and that was our electric charging station. It's brought online yesterday with the help of PPRTA. Thank you much.
Thank you. Mayor Pro Tem.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, I'm just wanting to convey, man, to the El Paso County engineer that we're highly motivated about the road between Paint Mines to 24. And it's drastically needing a lot of help, like in capital letters help. So, okay. But where is that on the list now? It was on the list, but I don't know what number it is now.
We have funding for that project with PPRTA 3. We're looking to advance the design in starting in 2024. So we're ready to go. We're shovel ready when we get that funding in 2025, which is the start of PPRTA 3.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Mayor.
I'll pass.
All right, I'll come over to Councilmember Avila.
I don't really have an update except the redistricting. So I believe there hasn't been a Democrat on the county commission for 52 years plus. So because they have not been competitive. So I would hope that Southeast stays intact and that Monument be removed from District 3 as it is, because then we don't have a chance at all. So it needs to be at least competitive at the very least.
All right. Commissioner Williams.
I will say that redistricting has been arduous. I thought that was a very good term. So the final meeting is next Tuesday at 1:00. And other than that, it's almost the end of summer. Darn.
Okay, I'll look out online. First to our new member, Paul Belt. Sir, any comments or suggestions you want to make at this time?
No, I wanted to remind everyone to come by this weekend. We're having Ramade's, the best pulled pork sandwiches you have.
All right. Thank you. And Commissioner Gonzalez.
Thanks. Yeah, same thing on the redistricting. It's been quite a 2 or 3 months since we've been doing that. I don't know how to describe it. But I would say that of the 3 finalist maps, all 3 include the Southeast Colorado Springs together as defined by Representative Exum and Jackie Almendariz, who I think Yolanda knows very well. And so by their definitions, we had all 30 of the precincts that they described as being part of the Southeast in every map version. They're combined. So I thought that was good. And I think honestly, 2 of the maps do have 2 competitive districts, and 1 map has actually 3 that are pretty competitive. Thanks.
Thank you. With that said, I will just again plug, a couple weeks ago, we did the March Shuffle groundbreaking for the extending March Shuffle, not extending, but widening the March Shuffle, which is very neat. Oh, there, excellent. There's the picture. And so that was a very good event.
And we can see all of Travis now.
Oh, good. Yeah, look at that. And the American flag. I like that, having the flag and especially Travis in there. All right, that's all I have. I'll look to see if anyone, Rick, Jennifer, Andy, Gail, Jeff, anybody have any comments or anything? All right, that takes care. So I'll jump back. That's item 11. I'll jump back to item 10 and I'll turn it over to Jennifer.
Yeah, I'd be looking for a motion pursuant to section 24-6-402-4B Colorado Revised Statutes for the purpose of receiving legal advice on specific legal questions regarding the collection of sales and use tax.
All right, so we're looking for a motion to go into executive session.
Sorry, I don't think I said that. Yeah,
That's
to
all
go
right.
to an executive session
I
for
just
those
said it.
reasons.
I move we go into executive session for the reasons stated on the record.
Okay.
And I second it.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? We have none. So let's set up. And so for Paul Belt, I think you got to come offline and go in a different, does he have to?
Yes,
He's good? Okay,
he'll stay. I think you'll just put everybody in the waiting room.
all right. So for both Lohinas and Paul, hang in there. Okay, we're setting up for executive session.
So just take a motion to come out of the executive session.
I request a motion to come out of executive session.
So moved.
Second, Dave Donaldson.
So we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed and want to stay in executive session? I hear and see none. That's approved.
I don't know.
Okay, are we back on? Are we? Yes, we are. Okay, with that, we finished today's agenda. And one more time, I'll ask around the room if there's any closing comments or anything that people want to make. If not, this meeting is adjourned. We beat him 48 minutes.
I did. Sorry.
And Donaldson made the second. Okay, sorry. All right, hey, we're adjourned.